Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says government will seek experts from the Australian manufacturers of the TNT Express and the TNT Spirit to service the two inter-island ferries. Responding to a question in the Parliament by opposition MP Ganga Singh, the Prime Minister said he was shocked to learn that the Port Authority does not have maintenance records of the ferries for the last 11 years.
We have had to go back now to go back to the manufacturers to send technical people to us with these ferries as we make arrangements to put the two ferries on dry docking, which is long overdue. I've read a report which has shown a series of operational difficulties with the ferry, some of them quite serious with respect to the steering gear and the introduction of water into the system that shouldn't be there and so on.
Workers at the Ministry of Sport stopped work today for a silent protest outside of the building on Tragreet Road, Port of Spain. They are saying the building that was vacated by the Public Utilities Ministry is responsible for some of the ailments they now suffer. Ailments they were not suffering when they were at the Abercrombie Street address.
What has happened, this has gone beyond the union members. We have a health and safety issue that exists at the ministry, and we would have tried to treat with it internally due to the mechanism of the JCC and staff side. But the problem continues. They would have cleaned the carpets and cleaned the vents, but persons continue to be suffering from tonsillitis, asthma attacks, rashes all over their bodies, persistent cough and cold. We have persons with short breath. We have persons who are on Periton.
Former soldier Eddie Phillip was killed this morning in Central Trinidad. According to reports, Phillip was taken by a group of men against his will and forced into the trunk of a car. Phillip forced his way out the trunk near Gale Trace in Londonville, prompting his attackers to shoot him. He died at the scene of the shooting. Phillip came to be known after appearing on local television show Crime Watch as a criminal who turned himself in while coining the phrase "one is one." Andy Murray's French Open hopes ended with a 5-set defeat by Swiss third seed Stan Wawrinka in the semi-finals. The world number one was beaten 6-7, 6-8, 6-3, 5-7, 7-6, 7-3, 6-1 in 4 hours and 34 minutes. It was a repeat of last year's semi-final, which the Briton won before going on to lose the final to Novak Djokovic. Former champion Wawrinka faces Rafael Nadal or Dominic Thiem in Sunday's final. At 32 years and 75 days, Wawrinka is the oldest finalist at the Roland Garros since Nikola Pilic in 1973. Now for the weather with Ian Wallace.
Clouds and showers are building and set to creep across eastern and southern Trinidad today. There's a weak trough passing through after midnight, and this will add more moisture into Saturday. So tomorrow should begin with dampness, especially for Trinidad, with a scattering of showers coming over central and southern areas, with the possibility of the odd one turning heavy. For those of you heading offshore, look for easterly winds of 15 to 20 knots through Saturday, with wind waves of 1.5 to 2 meters in short easterly swells of 8 seconds. And with the full moon, look for higher than normal high tides, high tide at 4 a.m., low tide at 11 a.m. That's the latest weather, and I'm meteorologist Ian Wallace.
That was your CNews update. I'm Karen Kozia Phillip.